Hey guys, GreatGamer34 here. I'm back, and I've been working on this some more, and you'll see that this looks like a little bit more filled up than it was before, and I have more stuff going on in here, and more stuff going on here. So this is actually the colored one that I'm going to continue working on this one, doing updates on this, and continuing to work on this, because it's colorful and the wires are all color-coded. Out of the instruction decoder, which is really nice. The quartz stuff is usually just componentry or just random buses that didn't need to be color coded. So I actually have another copy of the CPU, one for anybody to go to on OR. So if you do /warp BFCPU all lowercase, it brings us to an all quartz version. So you'll see that none of the wires are colored coming out of the instruction decoder. The only thing that's colored is underneath the ROM, and of course the instruction sets that are listed. So I'm just trying to load all the chunks real quick, because there's some progress I want to show on this. And it's a step forward for me before I start testing each and every single instruction. You first want to make sure you can control your clock and your PC well. So let's go ahead and do this, which is enable the PC, then enable clock, then we'll start the clock, and then we'll enable the output of the clock right now. And you'll notice these PCs increment at the same instant. So it's actually synced between the two cores. So that was one thing I was trying to get down, was trying to get that to work. Another thing that's a pain in the ass to get down, so I'll just let this increment, is here's a branch that I can do. Here's my branch arguments that I can control. So if I don't give it any branching arguments, so I give it line 0, and then I tell it to manually branch to either PC or PC2, PC1 or PC2. If I press both of those down, it'll manually branch to both of line 0. It looked like this one went last, it was just had to update the chunk. Yeah, so I could actually go and stop the clock right now, or just stop the output of the clock, let it run, and I can remove this, and we'll be at line 0, and then I could increment it again. I could just let it output, and it should start incrementing again. Yep, there she is incrementing. What else I can do? So I could do manual branches from the inside of the control room as well. So if I wanted to say branch to the line 21, just have to go ahead and enter 21. And I could tell it that I want that to go to the first PC. So then I update the clock. Just by I can update the clock just by pressing the button right here manually. So one of them is going to go to line 21, which is apparently that one. The other line, I could give it a different address, such as 5. I can update the clock then. So the other one's going to increment to 22, and the other one's going to hit 5. Actually, I'm not really sure what happened and why this did this right here, but that's a problem for me to work out off camera. So I kind of figured out what the issue was, so I'm just gonna fix that later. It's not a big deal really, it's just a register thing. Not even a register thing, it's like a memory thing in one spot that's really easy to fix. But yeah, this should have branched to line 0. Actually, that's, oh, I never clocked it. Shoot. There's that. Maybe I did. Who knows? Clocked. to 0. There we go. So both of these are at line 0 now. Okay, so here is output 1 from CPU 1, and here's output 2 from CPU 2, so you can view two different outputs from the ALU at the same time. And there's also 7 user inputs right in the middle here. Here's address 7, and here's address 1. So, what's nice about this is you can have 7 arguments for an input, person to input into different sides or whatever, and it'll go and do that. So, actually, something else that was really hard for me to do is actually get the data out of the ALU and actually get it to be able to go over and come display out right here. So this is the buses that were for that. They actually come from this right here. So this is all the ALU outputs basically right here. And so getting these to come out of the ALU right here is a pain in the ass. But I still had enough room to get the data to come out of here and come out. So basically anything that's going on near this bus over the registers, which is like a universal meeting up bus where a lot of stuff happens, will be also forwarded to the output that the user interface gets to see. And it works like this for both sides. Here's the other side. So there's that. So every time you pop from the stack or you do anything like that, you'll see the output. So I was able to get that hooked up, which is very nice. So yeah, that's basically what I've been working on. Of course, this bus had to come in here and then split off both ways for the branch, and then from there I have this AND gate mux right here that allows it where it tells it where it's going to go through. Yeah, so just a few more things being worked on. There's a few redundant buses that I thought I was going to need in here, but I didn't need, so I still have to get rid of those if I'm not going to have something to do with them. Oh, I also needed to do some weird thing here on the pop, which I needed this extra line for, because I needed to make sure that I would only pop if I got the instruction if and only if there was an input on the argument for a condition such as branch of equal to or something. That's the only reason I would pop, because that's when I need to check the condition. So I needed to OR together these 3 lines before they went to these 4 tick repeaters. That way I can have enough time to pop it and still check. So that's why that's like that. Anyway, see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe.